You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Welcome back to the Care What People Think podcast with your boy Will and
your boy Ryan.
I don't know why I answered it like your boy. It's 2017 and I'm making a YouTube video. But yeah, welcome to this week's episode. We're going to be talking about empathy and compassion in relationships. So the last two episodes we talked about not being in a relationship, Ryan, and being in a relationship. And
Will.
Now we're going to talk about thanks. And we're going to talk about more of like, I guess it can be any friendship or relationship, but like, just like, honestly, you know what? I didn't even know where I'm going with this. Ryan wrote this fucking title and I'm doing the intro for no apparent reason, but that's what we're talking about because it is important. And at the end of the day, we may be talking about nothing, but it is always important.
Bro is still talking about nothing. That is crazy.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, bro. We're at 58 seconds right now. I'm not gonna lie, I just tuned out of that whole thing. I heard your boy Will, your boy Ryan, and I was like, and then I heard, ooh, 2017 intro, boom, done. I completely forgot what you said.
You wrote the title of this episode.
No. I love the title, dude. I'll talk about it actually first off. So
No, you won't.
What the heck is empathy? Just kidding. We're not gonna do that first. Will has to say what he's proud of.
Thank you. Yeah, as tradition goes, this is I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a weird thing to be proud of. But dude, it took a goddamn long time, and especially the fact that this video or this episode's gonna be out. The YouTube video I swear I talk about YouTube videos every fucking week, but deal with it. It's a fucking part of literally every day.
It's reality for Will.
Yeah. So the thing I'm proud about is I actually figured out how to print custom Lego minifigures. Whoa. Which sounds like not a big feat, but for this video, I'm basically showing that you can like make any picture you've ever taken into a mosaic and build it in Lego. And so I show how to do that in this video. And to make it more cool, I wanted to make like myself in Lego. And there were a bunch of fucking places that they said that you could print professionally or whatever. And I, as a kid, you don't fucking know how printing works on plastic. I still don't know how printing works on plastic, like, actually, but I did some research and I found some places across Europe, which is going to be a pain in the ass to get shipped. But yeah, just that problem solving process to get like a video done like that or a project done, I guess, to make it more reliable. Like going out of your way to complete a project is basically why I'm proud. And that I feel like anyone can relate to, especially being in school. Like things you don't think about, like a fucking bibliography, making sure that shit is correctly formatted for your
MLA,
English essay
APA.
due. Yeah, and make sure that's done and due, and you turn it in at 11:58 p.m.
Totally.
You feel good.
Totally.
You feel good.
Yeah, and you had to, like you said, a lot of problem solving. You told me a lot about how there were these companies that you like worked with that were overcharging because like they wanted these Lego figure, like they wanted to make you buy in bulk, and it was just way out of your price range. So
over $1,000, crazy.
Yeah, over $1,000's crazy, bro. Not for me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No,
that wasn't really compassionate or empathetic of you.
Sorry,
so
bro.
I would thank you.
Speaking of compassion and how to cultivate it, I'll be nice now to you. This is how I'm cultivating. But
okay.
What the heck is empathy? Do you know what it is? Just kidding. Don't answer that. I know. I know you know. But for me, empathy came as I grew up. Like I got a lot more empathetic. I got a lot more compassionate as I grew up, and I'll explain why. So, when I started arguments and held grudges, that's never the answer, or most likely is not the answer. Like, when I have like this disagreement or whatever with somebody else, I think of it as seeing their perspective and that there's no right and wrong. Like everyone sees the world differently, right? It's a way more mature approach. When you're a kid, you don't think like that. You don't see the world like that. You think it's your way or the highway, right? But this empathy and compassion, it allows us to understand each other on a deeper level and hopefully maintain that relationship, whether that's with a loved one or even with a friend you met yesterday. So the opposite of this is where you aren't listening to someone at all, and your lack of patience and for other people's emotions really gets the best of you. Kind of like I just said with like being a little kid. But when that becomes into your adulthood, it can really make you a bitter person. And these people are usually critical of others. They lack sensitivity and are very confused by others' feelings. And they can even victim blame for whatever reason. So
That's true. That damn, my man just became a English professor, and I just became Ryan as a student because I didn't listen to a word you said.
I honestly was just trying to explain what
I'm kidding.
what it is.
No, that's a good. It was a good point that you said in the beginning when you're saying like starting. You're talking about arguments. This kind of relates to empathy a little bit. Honestly, I don't even know if it does. But if you're in an argument, or I guess if you're asking for advice, if you tell someone, man, I'm really trying to think how to tie this, but I thought it was like empathetic, because like if someone's asking you for advice, they are coming to you for help, right? Problem avoidance is not always a good problem solution. For example, if I said, Ryan, what would you do if you selected the wrong gas type when you were filling up your gas? So Ryan has, say you know those gas pumps that have like the diesel
Yeah.
option for it? Like, say, does your car fucking take diesel?
No.
Okay, I don't know why I thought I was an idiot for a second. But like, say you're at the gas station and you accidentally tapped on the diesel button and you already like put your payment information or whatever and you didn't know what to do. And then you asked me, like you called me like, hey, because you totally don't have the solution on Google in your pocket and you don't have two parents that you can just call and ask. But if you asked me, you called me, you're like, hey, Will, I accidentally pressed the wrong gas. What do I do? And I sat here and said, well, I wouldn't fucking be in that predicament. That is useless information. Like that's just avoiding the problem. And I feel like that's really important because it's very easy to do. And I used to do it a lot when I would get asked questions because I'm like, dude, my fucking perspective on someone asking for advice is like, I wouldn't be in their situation. But the problem is you would never be in anyone's scenario because everyone has their own perspectives. Everyone has their own upbringing. Everyone has their own opinions. So like you could always say that, and that's just useless. And I don't know about you, but it gets really annoying and you start not liking the person, which then makes you not empathetic. Will finally found a connection.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that was just a point I wanted to talk about because it is really annoying. And I feel like if you care, like, I don't know, I feel like if you really care about someone, you wouldn't do that typically, but I just know that it's a very easy route to go towards. And it can I just know as a receiver, on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, that
like
sucks.
in that gas scenario, you would feel kind of hurt. You'd be like, well, I fucking asked Will for help, and this dude basically said, I'm not an idiot.
Yourself.
Yeah, basically. And that's not really empathetic or compassionate.
And I mean,
you don't cultivate it.
I talked about it a little. Okay, man's just throwing around words now. All right. And you don't podcast, bro, and you just,
And it's not really relationship like.
Boom. Wow. Anyway, I think I did talk about this a little bit, but you did tie it into like seeing the world from other perspectives. I just wanted to give another example from like the gas. When you said like gas, like wasn't just necessarily confusing for me, but I was just like, I'll think of a better one. So I thought of a better one.
Okay.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah. So, go for it.
No worries. So, for example, if a friend of mine came back from a really tough day of work, right, and was like really upset and just needed somebody to be there with them, instead of like offering them solutions and just being like, well, you should have done this, or instead of like being like, well, that sucks, dude, then just quit your job, dude, like that sucks. Instead of that, just listen, and then you can even validate their feelings if they are completely validatable. It's a word.
Facts.
But it made a huge. This is actually an example with me. Like I stayed with 4 other guys throughout college, and I had them as roommates for 2 years. And a lot of people came back in this like mood swing. So I even at first kind of avoided it, and then I realized, wait, that's so annoying, and I can literally just sit there and listen to them, and it's not that big of a deal. It made a huge difference in how they felt and even our relationship. So that was my example.
No, that's a good example.
No worries. I also tied it straight into friendship dynamics. how to be supportive with somebody, how to deal with jealousy, and how to handle conflicts. So, like I said, show up for the people you care about, even sending a text once in a while to check in. I feel like there's no excuse for this, even though we are in a crazy world with social media and working 9 to 5s, and we're super busy, but you just can't expect somebody to be there for you day in, day out if you're not showing up or supporting them in some way. Am I right about that?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Cool.
I would.
Sorry.
Was that
Go
your?
ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, was that your point?
That was my point. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna add the what you said at the beginning about like just listening. If you want to make it even clearer, something that I do probably most often with, I probably just say my girlfriend and my mom, is if you are talking to someone and they do kind of keep giving you like, oh, just solutions before like even I guess opening up, you could just like in that scenario where you are the one kind of supporting the friend, you can listen to them and then ask, do you want a solution, or do you just want me to or like do you want to be heard? Because like I feel like it's also very different for, because like say someone is like kind of complaining and they're wanting solutions and you're just listening, they may be like, why is bro not offering questions? I feel like that is much more rare. I feel like what's more common is people start talking about something and they just want people to listen. And then as listeners, people butt in their opinion and they're like, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. So I agree, but to like make it even clearer, if you are like in doubt whether or not someone's just talking because they want to be listened to, you can literally ask them. Just be like, do you want a solution? Do you want my opinion? That's a good one. Because if they're like, no, I don't want your opinion, then it's like, cool. You can just listen and they can feel heard, and it's not like you create a big argument out of nothing.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. I think there are definitely different perspectives. Like, let's just say somebody's just trying to let off steam at work, and they're not wanting solutions at all, and just sitting on the couch next to them will suffice. Then do that. And like Will said, just ask them that question. Like, what do you want? Do you want solutions? Do you just want to listen?
What do you want?
What
I
do
want you to get the
from
fuck
me?
out.
Yeah.
I want you to get the fuck out.
Ooh, what do you want from me? To end all the pain. Don't do that. Anyway. Oh man, I'm gonna shift it also a little bit. I've dealt with people that have been jealous, friends especially. I've also been jealous about whatever, like without aspects of our life, like between our friends, right? We've just been very jealous in some regard, whether it's girls or whether it's a promotion at work or whatever it is. Instead of letting that jealousy damage a friendship, turn it around into motivation to improve yourself. I know that sounds so much easier than it actually is, but maybe take a step back and be like, wait, do you want them to be jealous about you if you were in their position? No. And taking it back to that example I gave with like a promotion, if a friend gets a promotion, instead of feeling envious, celebrate their success and use it as like inspiration for your own goal. So handling this conflict and finding a resolution that respects both of us is like the way to do it. And I think I said this right at the beginning of that episode as well. Like, this just comes with maturity and just experiences, but try your best to be the bigger guy and gain a new perspective.
No, that's definitely like you said, that's definitely harder to do. Especially if like say someone gets like a promotion or awarded something in the same field as you, that like stings because you're competitive with, like, I don't know, I'm a very competitive person, so like take it to soccer for an example, or whatever sports team you do tryouts. There's always someone you don't like. I don't care who you are. If you're really competitive, you will have someone that pisses you the fuck off, and you'll have like little rivalry. If I can goddamn talk, you'll have a little Barcelona Real Madrid rivalry, and if you both try out, and then say the person you dislike gets on the top team, you can literally sit there and be like, fuck this person. The person I don't like got the like, I guess, promotion that like I should have got, or I think I earned. That's definitely something you could like, you can spin it around and be, instead of being like, I wish I was on that team, you can be more like, well, why did they get put on the team? Like, what stood out from them to the coach? Like, oh, is it because they're faster? Well, if it's they're faster and I'm serious about this, then I'm going to start going to the gym more so I can work on my either endurance or quicker sprint speed. Or if it's because they're stronger, then you can go to the gym and work on actual like muscle development so you can gain more muscle to be stronger in whatever sport. Now, if you're like me and in high school you were 5'1" until basically you were a senior, that's just genetics. That's unfortunate. You can't really do anything about that. But just know that time will time will fix that. Just don't worry about it, and time will be like, we got you. Because I definitely felt that, where I literally wouldn't get certain opportunities because people would be like, you look like a fucking kid. You aren't strong enough. You don't look mature. You don't whatever. Plus, I also was like, I kind of had childlike humor. I like Legos. I like making YouTube videos. Like, I looked like a fucking fifth grader.
Man said had. He still does. That's a good thing.
Oh, that's true.
You have?
So, like, it does, it does suck. But that's definitely a point. Instead of being envious, just, even though it's hard to support someone you dislike, at the end of the day, if you dislike them, they're the one living the life you dislike. So, you shouldn't want that
and
life
if you're envious, like, what does that even solve? That just makes you more mad. It makes them bitter towards you. Like, what's really coming out of this? So
yeah, I wasn't sure if you had another point. Another thing I was gonna just add on into that was kind of relating to when you were saying like people coming back home from work or school or whatever with like certain mood swings. You don't know what battles other people are facing every day. And I know that's really stereotypical and cliche, but like it really, really is something that could just certain information can just completely change your opinion about someone. For example, I'll give a good example. You ready for this? I'm pretty sure I learned this in psych class. Sally and fucking Kevin are standing next to each other. Now, Kevin goes over and pushes Sally, and Sally's holding an ice cream cone, and she drops it, and she starts crying. Is Kevin a bad person? With that information given, you may be like, yeah, okay, maybe not a bad person, but like, Mans is fucking rude. He just went and pushed a girl.
Kevin's a cartel leader. Sorry. What?
However, if I told you that a car was coming full speed and was going to hit Sally because she was walking across the street, and then Kevin pushed her out of the way, bro becomes a hero. It's all the perspective of like the information you're given.
That's
and
debatable.
Even though that is contextual, okay. Even though that's like contextual, like if you can see and you were there, you can see what would have happened. But like if you're being told certain information, like not everyone's gonna come home and tell you all the thoughts that are in their head, which would make sense to why they're reacting a certain way. So like just if certain people are like really lashing out, really like if someone's like they get so aggravated for like the smallest thing, like their shoelace comes untied, there probably is more going on. Like there's probably a lot of stressors going on, whether I don't know, whether it's like work, school, family, friends. You never know what someone's going through. And so, man,
are you doing okay, Will?
I'm doing great. I have a lot of work this week.
Okay,
I'm
that's good.
Great.
Just checking in.
Oh, thanks. I'll send you a text after.
No problem. Well, man doesn't even ask how I'm doing, but whatever. Speaking of, I'll send you a text. Never sends text. Did you have another point with that, or?
No, I think that was pretty much it. I feel like I'm the only person that ever does this, but like, that's why when people cut me off in traffic, I'm like, damn, they probably did have somewhere to be because they cut me off.
That's the nicest thing I've ever heard. Or road rage, bro. That gets a pass.
They cut me off and they think that's normal. They have to live a fucking shitty life if they think that's normal. Because what else do they think is fucking backwards? Like, if you think cutting someone off is okay, you probably have some crazy other fucking perspectives on other shit that I would not want to be around you with. So that's cool. You have to live a shitty life if you think that's okay. And I don't have to live that. So you cut me off, I guess that works. That's how I peacefully deal with driving. That could be a whole episode in itself. That's what
it really could. Road rage could be its own thing. Honestly, my dad is so bad with it that I take notes from him and I just don't want to be like him on the road. So I actually
That's
am
fair.
very similar to you too. I'm like, well, if they're gonna cut me off, then they're probably just a shitty human being.
If they're gonna cut me off, I'm gonna crash into them in 5 minutes. So
Yeah,
get the
exactly.
fuck
Like,
out of my way.
hopefully you have insurance. No, literally, like this goes hand in hand, but just being kind and compassionate to people can make a big difference. Whether that's on the road or literally just opening the door for someone. And I actually want to challenge you guys just to do something that's compassionate or empathetic. Just literally like complimenting someone that like you actually think needs a compliment, or opening the door for someone, or really just doing something that people don't do all the time. It's really cool. These small acts of kindness can brighten someone's day so easily. So I challenge you.
That's a good idea. If you like challenge for the week, do a good deed that you may not seem that big of a deal, and write it as a comment. Like actually, I'm gonna make the question will be related to this, but like just type that in the question below. At least I know it's on Spotify. But like, so then we can go back and see in a later episode, we can go through and see like what acts of kindness you guys did.
Totally.
That'd be cool.
And I even think I'll put mine just in the comments too, because I would love to do the challenge with you guys. So, do you have anything else for today, Will?
No, that's you pretty much hit the nail on the hammer.
All
Fuck.
right, well,
It's what the fuck did I just say?
Nail on the hammer is crazy. I didn't even think about it. Holy shit, bro. Will, are you doing okay, bro?
I'm just too outside. I'll text you later.
That's going to be Will's act of kindness. My man's going to say, "You okay? All right, cool." Not even
waiting.
Not even waiting. No, it's all going to be in one text message. You okay? Space. All right, cool.
Period.
Blocked. All right. Well, that's going to be all for today. Make sure you tune in to the Care What People Think podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all other platforms. And please leave a review or rating to help us out. And make sure you do that challenge that we just challenged you with. If you're going to listen to one thing throughout this episode, it's that empathy and compassion are tools for building better relationships and making the world a better place. Am I right?
No. Yeah.
Whoa. Nice. Thanks. Also, like I said, just do that act of kindness. Type it in the comments. Super, super simple. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, care what people think, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3